The next speaker is Eric Scheidler, followed by Alex Reckenmacher.
My name is Eric Scheidler, and I live at 839 Garfield in Aurora, and I am also the executive director of the Pro-Life Action League. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here this evening. Had a lot of experience speaking to City Council in Aurora back in 2007 when Planned Parenthood was opening their massive abortion facility in that town, and you may remember that controversy. A lot of protests came out of that development as well, protests which continue to this day. Mr. Mayor, Councilman, what's at stake here today is justice. Among my friends, I count some who were conceived under conditions far less morally ambiguous than in vitro fertilization, conditions of violence and victimization that all of us would condemn. Their valued membership in our human family does not alter the fact that they were conceived by acts of injustice. Similarly, who could fail to celebrate the humanity of these beautiful children here this evening, whatever the circumstances of their conception? Who does not sympathize with their parents' fervent desire to be mothers and fathers? As a father, I certainly appreciate that. I can understand how painful that would be, not to be able to conceive a child. But as easy as it is to sympathize with these whom we can see before us today, we must also learn to sympathize with those we cannot see. The tiny human beings in their earliest days of life who are victimized by Dr. Morris, who are destroyed or permanently frozen because they are unwanted or deemed unfit. In his introductory remarks, Dr. Morris pretends not to know when human life begins, but Dr. Morris's entire IVF practice is premised on the humanity of the embryos that he implants in their mother's wombs and who grow into the beautiful children you're seeing here this evening. But equally human are those other children, the hidden victims of Dr. Morris's IVF practice. And there is no moral difference between those children and the children being killed down the road at Planned Parenthood. And justice is due to those children. If that justice is not done by this council today, then you must know that justice will be done through public protest at Dr. Morris's facility at Benton and Washington. Justice demands it.
Thank you, sir.
No clapping, please. Could you come back up, please, sir? Do you mind, Mayor?
Mrs. Broadhead, go ahead.
You know, I just wonder to what end such a protest would be. In other words, is this to ask what women are doing as they enter this clinic, a procedure that you might find acceptable or unacceptable?
No, it is to stand in witness to the humanity of the children who are destroyed through IVF.
Yes, but
just as at Planned Parenthood.
Excuse me.
No, you asked me a question, Councilman. Requiring
I'm
me to come up.
Councilwoman.
Councilwoman. Well, your sign says Councilman. I'm just reading it. Councilwoman, you asked me a question. My answer is to witness to the humanity of the children destroyed by in vitro fertilization.
I understand that.
Just as at Planned Parenthood in Aurora, we stand in witness to the humanity of the children destroyed by abortion.
But do you understand that there are many, many people, and many in this room this evening, who do not see them as comparable in any way? And it just seems to me that this would be...
I'm not in the
if you would
business-
let me finish.
Certainly.
It seems to me that it's a very different sort of facility, of course. There would be many people who would be sympathetic to the protests in Aurora who would be completely unsympathetic to the protests here, and I understand that. So you may, and to me this does sound like a threat. Okay? It does. I'm sorry, it really does. And it sounds as though you're trying to scare potential patients from staying away from a place like that. So, I mean, it's certainly people have a right to protest, and people would have a right to counter-protest.
The
But
more the
I-
merrier. I mean, I'm happy to be on the
Yeah,
street with
I don't think it would be particularly
counter-protesters.
nary.
Well,
And
no,
I just
no,
want to
Councilwoman,
say
it wouldn't be. And that's precisely what I think this
Yeah.
council needs to know.
Yeah. And
I'm
we-
here to witness to the humanity of the
Yeah.
children lost through IVF.
That's fine.
I'm not here to threaten anybody. I'm not here to pose. The humanity of those children deserves to be recognized by our society.
Yeah.
I don't think it's our place to determine who is and who is not a human being. We've heard a lot about that this evening.
Yeah.
Yes, all of these beautiful children conceived through IVF are beautiful human beings.
Excuse me, you're very good at trying to talk over somebody, but let me finish.
Councilwoman, you asked me a question and I'm trying to respond to it. You accused me of issuing threats, and I feel that it is only fair that I try to acquit myself of that charge. Shall I stand convicted of threatening the City Council of Naperville, or shall I be allowed to
I'm sorry,
explain my true purpose?
I probably should not have begun this.
Well, this is the kind of controversy that will come home to Naperville if this facility is approved.
But
there's
it is-
ample reason on the basis of the zoning for you to
Yeah.
disapprove it.
It is the only way we can vote on it, not on the use. It is a legal and permitted use.
So too is, well, I don't believe
Yeah.
that the Aurora facility is legal or permitted, but it was also approved by the city and brought a lot of controversy because human life is being cheapened through the practice of IVF. Not the lives of these beautiful children, the lives of the ones who are put in a deep freeze and who are discarded or sent off for embryo experimentation. Just as human life is being cheapened by the abortion facility down the road.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. McElroy.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.